Hey guys, day 205, I believe. It's about 5:30. Woke up feeling pretty refreshed here. Got some good sleep again. Crashed hard again last night. I needed it. My body was just catching up, but feel really normal this morning. I'm gonna make some coffee here and check on the cigars sitting around the house. Today needs to be a big photography day. I need to push through and get through half at least of what I've got left, preferably more, and then finish the rest tomorrow. Then I will be on schedule for the client, so that will be very cool. To answer some questions from recent comments, I'm not worried about the shower guy disappearing, the bathroom guy, because I've got all his tools. So it's not like the roofer guy where he just took everything at the end of the day. Bathroom guy's left all this stuff here. It's in the middle of the project. So, I'm not scared that he's gonna just split like the other guys. So, why he didn't show up yesterday, I don't know yet. He hasn't returned my emails or calls. Maybe something happened again. I have no idea. Maybe he thought because I had the class yesterday, I didn't want him to come, but I never said that, and I specifically said, see you in the morning the day before, so I don't know. And yes, the class yesterday was, it's more of a consultation than a class. I mean, I call it a class because that's what you can understand it is, but I do services for other wedding vendors, even photographers. And basically, yesterday, for example, I ran through everything from turning on the camera to delivering files for the client. It's a workflow consultation, so I go through software, computer setup. It's mainly geared around how to use Lightroom, which is a program for professional photographers that allows processing of large batches of photos very efficiently. So if you're doing a wedding, for example, and you have 1,000 pictures you have to get through, something like Lightroom or Aperture is another alternative, are very good programs to use. It saves you a lot of time, but nobody knows how to use it right out of the box. So it's a big paradigm shift to actually learn how to use it and all the different time-saving techniques that are in it. So she was extremely happy. When I advertised the consultation, I say this will pay for itself. It's only $225 for the consultation. And I say this will pay for itself the very first shoot you do in time saved. And she told me she already saved more than double that just from how wrong she was using it. And that's typical. I mean, like I said, nobody knows how to use it right out of the box. You have to go through some type of training. It's just not that you don't know how to use the 100 different features it has. And people end up using it like Photoshop, just opening it up, doing what they need, closing it, and still using 10 other tools to do stuff with their pictures. But the whole thing about Lightroom is every single thing you do with your pictures is through Lightroom. I mean, structuring, naming, cataloging, editing, delivering, importing, everything. You don't touch a picture outside of Lightroom anymore. And that's part of the big paradigm shift that nobody gets. So that's it. I mean, I go through other stuff too. Like we covered lighting theory, and I showed her all about differences between speed lights and studio lights and triggering, and we actually ordered a bunch of equipment for her. She started to build a speedlight kit, so we bought a ton of equipment off Amazon she's got coming. I set her up with online backup plans. I go through her Mac. I set up software and hardware. I moved files from internal to external drives. I set up her structure. It's a big consultation. And I also calibrated her screen. So it's more of a professional consultation than a class, but I call it a class sometimes because that's what people are. Oh, okay, it's class. So that's what it was. They're very long. Sometimes they go 6-8 hours. It takes what it takes. Usually I go to the person's studio, but she was, like I said, coming from Miami, so she had to bring some of her equipment here. Anyway, time for some coffee. It's early enough. I'm probably going to hit a ride up as soon as the sun comes up a little bit, and I'll take you guys along. And to answer another question, there is no hurry. There is no big rush to have this done. Yes, it's very inconvenient for us only having one bathroom. There are certainly times when we need to both be in there at the same time, both getting ready or whatever. and I have clients over, and sometimes we'll have guests over. And yeah, it's not exactly the best scenario having someone like that using what's essentially our disaster of a master bath. I mean, she's got a ton of girl crap all over the place. It doesn't look professional, it doesn't look clean, it's a little embarrassing, it's a mess. There's two people's everything stuffed into one bathroom right now, where before we were separate. And guests and everything would use mine because it was very minimal. I'm a guy, I've got three things out on the cabinet, everything else is underneath, and it's a nice, professional, clean look. But that's not a huge deal, it is what it is. That's not a need. But I told the guy, straight off the bat, there's no end date. There's no big, I have to have this done by any certain time. I'm only concerned with the quality. It takes what it takes. I don't care if it takes 3 days. I don't care if it takes 3 weeks. I'm not saying drag it out for 3 weeks, but I'm saying there's no end date. I don't have to have this done by any specific time. So no, there isn't a rush. And I never claimed there was. I never told him there was. He's taken on some little jobs and left early a couple days because there isn't a rush here. So that's just the way it is. But at the same time, I don't want to put it off a year if I don't have to. If it was possible to have somebody come in here and build a bathroom right away, yeah, of course I want that done. But if that's not possible, no, I have no problem putting it off, and when I get some spare time, learn how to do it. That's the worst case scenario. That is still on the table. It's just not preferable, but it's certainly not a need. There is no rush. So that's our timetable. Anyway, it's about 7:30. Sun is just up now, and I got a package I got to get out, so I might as well take the chance to run up to the post office. Wow, is it humid out. Probably saw from all the water it rained almost all night. I know, yay for the roof. Whew, but it's thick out. Alright, well, I gotta grab a shower just in case somebody shows up today. Who knows? I've got the second batch of the pot roast on. Had to use up the meat. You know, it was $20 worth of beef sitting in there. Only had another day or two before it was getting a little sketchy. So that'll be good for probably dinner. We'll see what happens. Well, I just saw a really good deal where I'm very happy with this laptop, by the way. This is an HP Pavilion 17.3 inch. This is a unit from Sam's Club, which was $3.99. But I saw today that Best Buy has the upgraded model on sale for $3.99. Slightly bigger hard drive, and an upgrade from a dual core with 1 megabyte of cache to a quad core with 4 megabytes of cache. So a considerable CPU upgrade. A little bit of a storage upgrade, not really concerned about that, but the quad core coming from a dual core would make a big performance difference, especially in overall app speeds, especially when I'm shooting tethered in Lightroom, and just overall responsiveness. And it should also help in battery life because I go to doubling the cores, and that internal cache would really help. So I'm going to once again take advantage of the exceptional return policy at Sam's Club and return this one. Let's see, which one do I need? I want to restore from my partition here so I can put it back to factory new. I want to, there we go, click troubleshoot, and I want to reset. I want to remove all my files, yes. That'll work. I really do like the recovery partition stuff in Windows 7 and Windows 8. I don't mind not having a physical disk anymore because I really don't use it. You know, I use it once to install the operating system, but I don't care if it's a digital download and I have to put it on a USB drive, or if it comes preloaded and it's on a separate partition. The only time you're going to need something is if the hard drive physically fails, which happens occasionally, but I can just download an image, stick it on a USB drive. I have to do it maybe once or twice a year at the most for clients. But me personally, I don't care. Stick it on a partition that's tiny, few gigabytes. I don't miss the space. So now it's going to go through and should present me. Here we go. So your two choices here when you're restoring. This is your basic one. Just remove my files, and that'll basically completely take off anything you did, put it back to out of the box, so the next time you turn it on, it's just like it was fresh. It asks you to, you know, activate, put in your information and all that. Your stuff is deleted. Alright? Now, if you're super paranoid and you're concerned about somebody getting a hold of this device and taking the hard drive and peeling off your information that was deleted, and yeah, it's possible if somebody's really going to go through that amount of trouble. I haven't done anything on here. I haven't logged into my banking. I don't have any sensitive information at all on here. I've just been using this to work. So I don't care about doing that. If you did care, you would choose this option, which will go through and actually write zeros and really clean the hard drive, so it would be very tough, or at least very expensive, to get your information off. But the regular quick option is okay for me, so I'm going to choose that. And it's still going to take about a half an hour. So now it's going through, it's putting everything back to 0, it's erasing my information, and using the recovery partition to put a fresh copy of Windows 8 back on, completely new out of the box. So I know it takes a half an hour because I just did it the other day when I returned the defective laptop. But this one was fine. No glitches, absolutely no problems with it whatsoever. But if I can get a better unit for the exact same price, you betcha I'm going to do that, especially it's only been, what, 3 days since I bought it, so that would be kind of dumb not to. especially when this is all I have to do. Big whoop. I go down the street, I return it, I go down the street further to Best Buy. They're both within 10 minutes of the house. I'll spend the hour doing that to get some free performance. Woohoo! So cool. The deal should still be on by the time you see this video. It just went up this morning, so if you're in need of a really good laptop for $399, hit up Best Buy. It's the HP Pavilion 17.3. You'll see it on sale today. I highly recommend it. It's fairly lightweight. It's lighter than my old 15. It's got a nice LED monitor. It's not an IPS, so if you need it for actual color production work, it's not going to be an option for you, but for general computing, just fine. It's got a 1600 by 900 screen, so it's not 1080 HD, but it's great for general computing. Again, I'm not doing video work on it. I don't need a full 1080 HD screen. Plays 720 HD just fine. It's still more resolution than I had on my old one. It's great for surfing the web and doing work and that kind of stuff. Keyboard's good. It's not backlit, but performs very well. And the touchpad, this one's working, and I actually like it. It's really nice. The sound is excellent. It does have Sony DTS, and it does sound really good. I have no problems with it. Battery life, exceptional. Hours and hours of actual working. Easy, 4 hours plus of actual working, watching videos, surfing, typing, doing whatever. Awesome. And the quad core that I'm going to upgrade should be even better. So that's cool. And it does have all the normal good stuff. USB 3, one USB 2, optical drive, full wireless, Bluetooth, yada yada yada, all the normal stuff. So for $399, can't recommend it enough. If you need one, go grab one today before they're out of stock. Well, I finally got a hold of one of the big roofing companies, one that was recommended by a mutual friend in the wedding industry. And there's a 4-week wait time because it's the busy season. So, yeah, that pretty much means I will have to figure it out in my spare time and just do it myself because there's nobody independent that can clearly do it. And in 4 weeks, I'm quite sure I could do it myself. So, yeah, I'll just have to live with the leaky roof. Got the towels down there. Luckily, it's not gushing in, so, it's a drip every 10 seconds or so. It is what it is. What are you going to do? Well, just got some good news today. I've been wanting to switch out my printer. This is a 24-inch wide model. I know it might not look, well, maybe it looks big, but that mouth there is 2 feet wide. So I can make huge prints, but they make some pretty good 44-inch models. So I'm kind of wanting to upgrade. But I need to get rid of this one first because I have no room for a second printer in here. I mean, the 44 is going to go to the wall as it is. So had this up for sale for a while, and I finally sold it and took a deposit. The guy's going to come this afternoon, give me the rest, and pick it up. Takes 2 people, so he's bringing a buddy with a truck. And he's getting a really good deal. It has huge ink supplies, and I've got spares for all the colors. Most of these are full. Oh, just had a loud pop in the audio there from that door. So this would be a good test because this is on iOS 7. So we'll see if they fix that audio problem. That was a major headache for me. And I was waiting to upgrade to a different camera to see if they fix that. So that's a good test. But the print heads are all perfect. Makes absolutely beautiful prints. And I've got a pretty good supply of paper for them. It's a mess right now because, we're house is in disarray, but I've got one box there, and I've got some different ones in here, and all kinds of spare ink cartridges in there. I buy the bulk pack, so I mean that's like $1,000 worth of ink right there, a couple $100 in paper. So I just changed the drive belt, which is about the only big maintenance item you have to do on these. And other than that, it's in perfect shape, ready to go, ready to print. It's a very economical unit, so it's great for any kind of commercial printers where we're making prints and selling them or doing any kind of volume. So he's a fine art printer, and he's starting to sell his own stuff, so he's excited to get it, and I'm excited to move it. So that is good. I'll be able to get rid of that. Got the new one.
Took a little longer than I expected. When I went to Sam's Club, instead of doing a refund, she accidentally charged me again. So it took a manager about 10 minutes to figure out the mess and get me 2 refunds to zero everything out. But got the new unit here from Best Buy. And the only difference I see is this one has a little nice rubber lip around the edges here. So when it closes, you know, it's got a little bit of a cushion. The other one was just straight plastic. I mean, it wasn't any problem or anything, but this is a nice little touch. Other than that, everything is functionally the same. It's just got a much better CPU and a little bit more hard drive space. So I'll let this do its install thing here and finish the config during the day as I'm doing the shoot. You know, there's a lot of uninstalling to do first, and then I have to tweak it and then just throw on my few apps and I'm ready to go. So end of the day, this will be up and running. Not bad, free little upgrade there, just cost me a little time. I just figured something pretty cool out. You know, I'm not a big Windows 8 user, well, until now, but something, and I commented, I can speak, on another video about it. The second laptop I got, I powered it up, and the taskbar was at the top. And I thought, that's kind of strange. Every time I've installed Windows or a new computer, it's been standard at the bottom. And the first one was like that, and I moved it to the top because that's where I like it. And I thought, you know, maybe that was just the way that particular one was installed out of the box. Well, I just noticed this one was like it too. I just got done uninstalling some of the standard crap. So I just went to the desktop here, and this wallpaper is already up, and I had set that on the other computer. And it just occurred to me that Windows 8 is using a centralized cloud account called the Microsoft account, and that's also tied into this computer's login. So it pulls in preferences such as your desktop and where your taskbar is, and I would assume your icons on your desktop if you had shared apps. So that's pretty cool. That's a nice little touch. I didn't know it did that. Obviously it's connecting out online, just logging in. But I don't believe Windows 7 does any of that. At least I've never experienced it on my other computers. But I just thought that was neat to mention.
Well, I'm plugging along on the photo shoot here. I just heard back via email from the shower guy. He said his mother died Wednesday night, so that was the last night he was here working. And, you know, I said take all the time you need. Like I said, there's no end rush to the project, so, you know, later next week when things are back to semi-normal, we'll get going. He did agree that the shower needs to be redone and he'll make everything right, so we're cool there. And you know, I said we'll talk about everything next week, so that's that.
Got the third new laptop all set up, ready to go. I've been testing the battery. It's been going for 2 hours now, doing Windows updates and all kinds of configs, and we've still got 61% of battery, so that is awesome. Again, super pleased. It is snappier, especially when just going through menus and launching apps and everything. Definitely a difference there going between the dual and the quad core, just in general use. And of course, if I was doing anything super processor intensive, it will definitely show up when I'm doing tethered shooting in Lightroom. So that's cool. And the guy is just about here to pick up my old 24-inch printer. Got a lot of spare equipment here for him. He's really excited to get it, and he knows everything extra he's getting. I mean, this is like $1,000 worth of ink in there. Some of those are still dual pack sealed. There are 2 130 mil cartridges in each of those boxes. Well, a couple of them are opened. But there's a lot of spare paper here, and this is about $250 worth of paper. One of those is garbage. I'm just showing him, keeping it to show him how far you can get down on the small rolls. But that's some canvas, that's some vinyl, and this is really good professional satin paper. That's what I ran probably 90% of my prints on. Really awesome stuff, just excellent. And then the printer itself, transport's actually really easy. It's heavy, and it looks awkward, but all you have are 4 little, can't really see it, but there's 4 little star screws that hold that base to the top, or the top to the base. And then you just undo those, and it just takes 2 people. You got some handles here, and lift it straight up, put it into your truck or car or whatever, You just keep it flat. That's all you have to do. And then just toss the base in, and setup is exactly the same backwards. Got all my inks in. Most of these are pretty full. Of course, it depends on exactly what you print and what paper you print with, which inks you go through the quickest, but in general it's a very frugal printer. And I did some diagnostic prints here just before I unplugged it, just to show them that everything is perfect. All the print heads perfectly clean, new inks, and it's a commercial printer, so it has a ton of reporting, and this is a standard usage report, so it shows since the last time I reset it, I've printed 1,670 square feet and used a total of 2,200 milliliters of ink. And then it details which ink, how much, so you can see which ones are using a lot of. The gloss enhancer, which is like a clear coat, it's good on certain materials. I've used 390 milliliters. And that's the one I use the most of, which makes sense because it goes on just about every print. And then a lot of gray, because I did a lot of black and white fine art prints. Let me turn on this light here. Yeah, it's not plugged in. Oh well. A lot of gray. It's an excellent fine art black and white printer. So I did a lot of that stuff. Blue-green, not a whole lot of that. 80 and 90. Some magenta, some yellow, 130, 220. Light magenta, light cyan, 120, 170, 290 of the photo black, 370 of the light gray. Like I said, I did a lot of black and white printing. 90 of the matte black, and 100 of the red. So quite a bit there. Did a lot of black and white printing, obviously. And then all these different profiles here are different papers. Is that focused? There it is. Oh, well that's better. Now you can read it. Sorry about that. So that's all the different paper profiles that I had done, because it has a built-in spectrophotometer. You can put in any paper and it will custom print and then read and make a profile so you get absolutely perfect color no matter what combo you're using. It's really awesome. One of the benefits of that printer. So as soon as he gets here, I'm going to go through all the info with him, give him all the goods, and that will be out of my hair. I guess that's it for today. I already did the ride. Just going to be shooting and have a guy pick this up. Nothing else for the house is going on. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.